Awesome. Well, I'm a chiropractor for actually a functional medicine chiropractor for 30 years, and really got started into where all this began with peptides was that we also do regenerative therapy. So we do umbilical stem cell injections and IVs. Actually, we just did two of them. Well, we did four of them last night, and it's like the the closest thing to the silver bullet. But that comes from those cells come from the umbilical cord. God made the umbilical cord, so I don't care if you believe him or not, but that stuff works like magic. And so then that really started making me think like, gee whiz, what else is out there? And then come across peptides. And at that time, so that's probably like 9 years ago. And at that time, there's pretty much all injectables, super expensive, and it just didn't flow for most. And so I kind of just put it off. I just kind of put that off to the side because I just didn't see that it was going to work. And so now here we are. Um, just looking was really not looking for that new thing because I just knew something else was coming along. And so one thing is I didn't share, Michelle, is that um, in 2017, I actually become a nationally publicized author, and I wrote this book, and the title of it is Age to Perfection. And 2017 versus now, I had no freaking idea what I'm talking about back in 2017, like what it is today. So I find it very interesting that that title was on my book, and yet that title can be used today with Nueva.
Yeah, it can. Age to perfection. How many of you guys like that? I love that. I'm like, bring it. I will tell you that there's something magical about when you put superior nutrition into your body. And I feel like what we're doing here at Nueva, we're so unique, we're so different. First of all, we brought everything that we've done for the last decade plus in the social retail world, and we brought it here with us, and it's going to be even bigger and better. And with these optimal wellness products for longevity, I mean, I love the fact that the three products that we're coming to the market with, pretty much, I don't even really know if you need anything else. I mean, it's amazing if you really research this. So Dr. Ramos, tell me like what your thoughts are on the Nueva body. Let's talk about that first. I know you had how many clients do you have total patients?
Thousands,
Thousands of patients, okay. And I
right?
know like you were in my we were in my previous company together, and I mean you were rocking it. I mean you guys were signing up customers left and right like it was like nothing, and rank advancing like crazy. And I know for you that was like really the first time that you put your name on a network marketing product
That's correct.
and actually promoted it. And now I know when we were talking, you said you're even more excited about what we're doing with the peptides and the snow collagen and the hydrogen water with nitric oxide. So kind of talk to us about your thoughts on these three products that we're launching with.
Okay, so Nueva Body. So I'll start this with a program we actually do at our office, and the title is actually "Cell Dysfunction is the Source of Aging, the Source of Pain, the Source of Inflammation, and the Source of Chronic Disease." And so why? And so yes, in the previous company, that's the very first time I brought an outside product into my office and started utilizing that with patients. With Nueva Body and the Nueva Nitro and the Snow Collagen, um, there's already there's already excitement in my office because patients are asking like, "Hey, what's going on?" And so we start talking to them, and then like, and I'll get to the Snow Collagen, but man, that thing that's collagen on steroids. There is nothing else like that out there, and I'm a I love information. I'm an information junkie, and I just love going down those rabbit holes. And so Nueva Body, what is so cool, and there's the two peptides, the SLOOP and the 5-amino-1Q, and they're they're designed. I mean, they're stacked. They're in one product, and so like what is so cool about both of those products is that they they're different products, but they're targeting and approaching the same goal. They want to increase. So there's with specifically 5-amino-1Q where it increases the NAD plus, and that is our bodies can't function without that. We just literally can't. I mean, we can, but we're sick and we're old and we're decrepit and we're in a freaking wheelchair. If
Yeah.
that and so when that is produced, it supports so many things. I mean, it supports the liver. It's a hormonal balancer. It helps the immune system. It decreases fat loss. I mean, it increases fat loss. And um, whoops.
Whoops. Yeah, we don't want to sell that.
No, and it helps mitochondria function. And in a lot of the talks that's been going on about mitochondria function, and it's really said, like, really pay attention to that, listen to that. And why is that so important? The mitochondrial function, that is, I mean, that's what produces our oxygen, our energy, and our energy is what's called ATP, adenosine triphosphate. So what's really, really cool about this is there's a big word, it's called methylation. And there's several of these ingredients that creates a methylation, and it doesn't create it, but it allows the train to go down the track.
Hmm.
Okay, I know the one night we talked about it, and I just kind of went down a rabbit hole, but it's like all the wheels on that locomotive have to be moving, and if they're not moving, then the train don't move. So the train's our body. The locomotive is our inside internal engine, our Krebs cycle, our mitochondria. And if that's not working, we're not moving, and we're not healthy, and we get old, we get disease,
Yeah.
and we get inflammation, and all diseases, all conditions in our bodies that we don't like is because our body's in a systemic inflammatory state.
Yeah, I love that so much. And I know Dr. Richard and I go back and forth quite a bit, and he will go like, he'll just go off. He gets so passionate, excited. And I was like, I don't understand a word you just said. Can you dumb that down for me? And then he'll dumb it down. And I'm like, dude, that's awesome. Like, and then I'm like 10 times more excited. It's so awesome. But so I know, like, obviously, this peptide, this dual peptide mimics exercise in your body, which is amazing. That does not mean that you can just sit on the couch and eat ho-hos, folks. Okay. We still want to create healthy lifestyle choices. We really want to bring people out of the starting gate, learning to create better habits. The inner creates the outer. So, we always say you'll never outperform your self identity, right? You'll never outperform your identity. So you've got to really work on the inner to create the outer. So we really want to help people with their habits and eating habits and on the way that they think and all the things. And I know we're, kind of marketing it as weight loss because obviously that's what most people want. But when I started researching this, I was like, oh my gosh, like there are a gazillion other benefits, just health benefits and healing benefits with these peptides that are out of this world. So what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, that's exactly right. And I could go through all these product these peptides that we are having. It could be an hour. And so what is so cool about that is that this works at a cellular level. So it's like we could take probiotics. We take heavy probiotics, we could just dump them into our gut, dump them in our colon, and yeah, we're going to get some benefits. However, that is not the same when we're turning on the cell, like what the molecular hydrogen does. Those hydrogen atoms, they actually permeate the cell, and they go in there and they turn those receptor sites on. So as we age, those receptor sites and called telomeres, the receptor sites shut down, the telomeres get shortened, and this is what we age. The hydrogen actually goes into that cell and then turns on that receptor site. So let's say we got nitric oxide floating around in our body, and we're old, and we haven't exercised, and then all of a sudden those receptor sites open up, and here's sitting these nitric oxide and says, "Hey, buddy, where in the hell have you been? Come on in here." And then the cell gets restored, and and
Wow.
and it's just not from the 5-amino-1Q or the snow collagen or the sloop or the nitric oxide, which is absolutely amazing. And I've been using nitric oxide previous to COVID. But
Wow.
so the molecular hydrogen is really, really, I mean, that's just like that. I mean, that's money in the bank,
Yeah, nice. Money in the bank, honey.
honey.
Well, I will tell you the hydrogen water and nitric oxide, I've been drinking it now for probably 3 weeks or so, and I don't want to go a day without it, you guys. I mean, it's almost like brain fog completely lifted. My energy level is higher, my mood, total mood elevation. I mean, you can go from crusty as hell to happy in like 20 minutes. It's like, that's awesome, you know? It's just so good. And then you have this like sustained focus, which is great for me. I'm total ADD, ADHD. And like, I am getting, and one of my best friends, she's like, oh my God, she's like, I'm getting more done than I've ever gotten done in my life. And she's already freaking productive. She's one of the like best realtors here in Colorado, and she's like dying over this stuff. So anyway, really quick, I want you to, I know we haven't really touched a lot on the snow collagen, but that's obviously coming down the pipeline here in a couple weeks. And so you are saying that this snow collagen is going to just be the bomb. So tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so so obviously the collagen it has a collagen from the sternum of the chicken, but that in my opinion, I mean that's great and all, but in my opinion, it comes down to the snowflake mushroom, the tremella mushroom. I mean that's the that's the brains behind snow collagen in my opinion, because it does so many things besides just collagen. It decreases oxidative stress. It helps our brain health. It helps our gut health. It helps our immune response. It helps our cellular hydration. And so now if you're on snow collagen and you're drinking the Nueva Nitro, like, man, you better hold on to your pants, because you might lose them, because the hydration is just going to be amazing, and it's anti-inflammatory. It helps heart health, and it also helps hormonal health. And
Wow.
so that is not your typical collagen. That is not at all. That is a total game changer.
Wow. I am so excited for that. I'm so excited for that. And so this is just awesome. Dr. Richard Ramos, you're amazing. I appreciate you so much. I love learning from you. I love listening to you. I love when you send me stuff all the time. Like, it's just, you're so fun to work with. And what I really want to encourage people as a chiropractor, what would you tell people? I mean, everybody probably has a chiropractor that they know, or two, or three, or 10. And what would you say, like being a chiropractor? Like, how would you tell a new person or like us in Nueva if we wanted to approach a chiropractor about taking a look at this as a business? What would you suggest? And then we'll wrap it up.
Well, I would suggest for them to actually look into the clinical trials of these. I've seen a lot of stuff. It's like, well, it's not FDA approved, blah 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 blah. Because I mean, you know how many pharmaceuticals that the insurance pays for that's not FDA approved. They've never been through any clinical trial
Yeah.
studies, and so this is so. For the most part, I would say that they really need to obviously not approach them with the business, like on how much money you can make, because that's a side note.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is like previously we just started sharing it with our customers, and like, holy smokes, man, here comes the train. That's just how it is. But from they need to show them like the clinical trials so they could look and they can read it on their own, and they can see it. They can make that decision. And it's not that they don't trust the patient, but it's like we get that all the time. And
Well,
like
that's right.
like like show me the proof.
Right.
It and dollar figures, obviously money's nice, but that doesn't make me, especially after 30 years,
Yeah.
like, okay, so if I could make a little bit more, that's fine, but that's not my gig. My
Yeah.
gig is to help change people's lives. And with Nueva and with these right now, I call them 5 products, um, on how they're broken down. I won't get into that story now. I'll share that story with you. But
Okay.
but it's as you know, I like analogies. And so it ties into basketball. But nonetheless, I really believe that Nueva and these products and how they are produced. I mean, this is a stamp. I mean, this is a game changer. This really, I was telling patients this yesterday, and I don't